Call to order the City Council meeting of the City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, March 5th, 2019 is now 5 o'clock. City Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olstead.
Here.
Council Vice President Chad Grassel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms. Tim Riopel.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Present.
As a term of quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff, boards, or commissions for research, and future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address the City Council, please come at the podium to do so now. I see none. Approval of minutes for February 19th regular meeting.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? See none. Roll call, please.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings none. Scheduled public hearings. Public hearing to consider the final plat approval for Riverview 11th edition. Entertain a motion to open public hearing. Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Grassel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. The public hearing is now open. James Nellis.
I just wanted to come up and put on public record for the public hearing that there was I think some confusion and some questions, and so I just wanted to clarify that currently the property that the mayor owns is 2 separate parcels, with the larger parcel being the one that the private garage sits on and already has the space available to build a home and access available to have a separate single family home on that property. Essentially what this is doing is taking the smaller piece of property which the house sits on and moving the rear property line just further to the east to make it a little bit more so that both properties are a little bit more uniform in size. And still allows for when you move properties, the lots have to continue to be conforming. So both lots have to have the ability to have a single family home on it if you're in an R1 district. The garage itself will remain a private storage garage, so it won't be rented, well, it won't be used for commercial purposes. There won't be sales or offices or anything like that out of them at this point in time. So,
Does any member of the public want to address the City Council this time? If so, please come up to the podium to do so and state your name and address, please. I see none. And did you want to come up, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Just state your name and your address, please.
My name's Arlene Holman, and I live at 906 16th Avenue Southeast. And I was just wondering we had gotten the letter about this, and I had never, heard of it. So I was wondering what they were planning on doing with that property. But they want to build another house. Is that it?
No, Nancy, maybe if you want to address that, please, ma'am.
No?
yes. Sorry, I'll speak into the microphone. What is happening right now is the person that is looking to purchase the house does not want to purchase the private garage.
Oh, okay.
Why that is, I am not sure. Again, because they're 2 separate parcels, they're allowed to be sold separately. What they have asked for with the purchase of the house, they just want a little bit more backyard. Because currently the property line is very close to the back of the house.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I couldn't quite understand what was going on. I thought, well, are they there's not really room to build another house there. So I was kind of wondering what was going on.
The person that's going to use the garage has no intentions of building a house, nor do I feel that the owners themselves of the lots currently want to have another house built on that private garage one, and they can enforce or put a covenant on that house, or on that lot that states they don't want a house there. However, for zoning purposes, to meet our ordinance, they have to have the ability to put a house on
Well, I just thought, you know, putting another single-family house there wouldn't give them much of a room or a yard or anything with the coulee there and everything. So I was wondering, okay, what's going on? Are they trying to build a house or?
No, and so that's why we're at the point where we're at now. How it's sold, those types of things. The city does not enforce covenants, so I technically can't ask them to put a covenant on it, but I feel that between the owners themselves, they're coming to an agreement that there wouldn't be another house built on there. So.
Well, I didn't realize it was like two separate lots, because it looks like it's all one big lot, you know? Because that's what a lot of our lots are there.
Yes, yeah.
So.
And this is the only one that would have access to a road, so it truly is the only buildable lot. The other lots have to be sold, or the other parcels have to be sold together.
Right.
But this is the only one that does not have to be.
Okay, all right. Well, now I understand. Okay. They just want to move the lot, but keep the garage, and a separate person is still going to own that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Holtman.
Anybody else have any questions or comments at this time?
I'm sure when Nancy said the mayor, she meant the ex-mayor.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the record should be corrected to make sure it's not the current mayor.
You own property we don't know about?
No.
Move to close the hearing.
Moved by Demers to close hearing.
Second.
Second by Grasso. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. The public hearing is now closed. Move on to consent agenda. There is none. Excuse me. Acknowledge receipts of reports, officers, boards, and commissions. Number 3, regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for January 17th, 2019. Communication, there's none. Old business, there's none. New business, consider approving the Riverview 11th edition simple subdivision plat, including a note on the plat stating this: the accessory structure on Lot B cannot be used for commercial purposes.
Move. Second.
Moved by Grasso, second by Demers. Any questions or discussion? See none, roll call, please.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 5, consider adopting a device usage policy for the City of East Grand Forks Council and staff.
Move.
Moved by Demers, second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? I see none, roll call, please.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 6, consider declaring the 1988 Ford L8000 fire engine as surplus and donate it to Northland College for use in their fire science program.
Move.
Moved by Demers. Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? See none. Roll call, please.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 7, claims. Consider authorizing the city administrator, clerk, treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll. Moved by Riepel, second by Demers. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
I have a snowbank at the end of my driveway that's about 7 feet tall. You could hide a full-size sedan in that snowbank and not see it until the thaw comes in the spring. And yet our public works employees clear snow in that sort of environment all the time. Who knows what they'll find? And yet they do it with a high level of professionalism, and sometimes all through the night, so we can wake up in the morning and commute to work and school uneventfully. Thank you for that excellent service. Next item, on the evening of Sunday, February 24th, we had a gas leak in the middle of our city. I received a call from Mark Nisbet, who is principal manager for this whole area of XL Energy, about the gas leak. And Mark was involved in coordinating the work of XL in that repair. He was extremely complimentary of the cooperation of our police and fire departments in doing the repair and reestablishing gas service to our residents. So thank you, first of all, to the residents and businesses affected by the lack of gas supply from Sunday evening and for several hours until the next morning. And thank you for your patience. Thanks to the firefighters who helped secure the area and used the reverse 911 to notify residents what was going on. Thank you to the police officers who worked with XL technicians to repair the leak and restore natural gas to the 143 homes and businesses affected by the outage. Thank you to the 16 XL technicians who came into the area, some local, some regional, to help reverse this problem. And to fix the leak, it's a lot of steps involved. First, they had to go find a valve, shut off the whole area. They got that done. Fix the repair, but then before they could repressurize the system, they had to actually close the service on the back of every home and business affected by the gas leak. And then they could repressurize, and then before they could open each valve into everybody's homes, they had to make sure there were no pilot lights left on, not burning, not fired. So before they could restore the gas to each home, they had to access these individual families. Can you imagine the meter behind your home, maybe behind a snowbank of 5 or 6 or 7 feet? So this was an enormous undertaking, and it was so well orchestrated. And that's what Mr. Nesbitt wanted me to be sure to say, is thank you to our local folks who worked so closely with their technicians, police officers in the yards of homes and whatnot, making sure that their technicians were safe coming and going from the back of people's homes and businesses. So much happens in our city we don't even hear about, but we get our services on a continual basis. Thank you to everyone involved with that. Next item, last Wednesday, and you all probably have something else to say about it. Our City Administrator David Murphy, Council President Mark Olsted, Councilmember Mark Demers, and I spent the day meeting with about 10 legislators and staff. And Megan, thank you for setting it all up, bringing them up to speed on several of our local concerns. And top among them is fixing our LGA formula, which causes us to lose close to $100,000 in each of 3 consecutive years. Even into next year, we're slated to another close to $100,000 loss. So we have a fix coming out of the '97 flood to the to the law that governs LGA, and they're working to fix the fix because it's not working anymore. And I think we had a pretty good reception from all that we talked to, maybe lukewarm with one, but we're told that's kind of how he is. And we're ready to return if necessary. We have a bill introduced into both the House and Senate to get this fix accomplished, and it's coming through committee. When it's time for a testimony in committee, we're ready to go back down if needed, and that could happen as early as next week. And finally, back to this thing we've discussed about improving our greenway, particularly in the Griggs Park area. And we have had new contact from the folks about the Minnesota fishing opener, Minnesota Governor's fishing opener. So Nicole from Explore Minnesota Tourism has been back in contact with our folks from the Convention Visitors Bureau, and it looks like Wednesday the 29th of May will be a site visit to our community. And also we've been invited to send a couple of people to the Albert Lee Governor's fishing opener, and the CVB will cover some travel expenses for that. And then as soon as we get the financial information about what would be involved in bringing it here, then that will be coming. So there's definite movement, and the next item that will happen here is a site visit on the 29th of May. So we will have some preparation to get things in order to make a very good presentation to the Explore Minnesota Tourism group coming in. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Benner.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Riaville.
I have nothing.
Mr. Johnson.
Just want to wish the high school teams good luck on their forthcoming events, and looking forward to the pothole season.
Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to inform the council of some business on the Water and Light Board, that the board has decided to move forward with a project involving planting trees on the north end of town. You know, if you recall, we talked about that last year, and we went out for, I think it was a Bowser grant to offset it. We didn't get the funding, but the board figured that it's still, if you go out on 23rd right now and look at how much snow is on the eastern half of it right now, hopefully this can help mitigate this, help sell some homes. I think it's somewhere around $70,000. It will involve a transfer to the city, and the city will pay for it or whatever. So just making sure that we got that.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Grassel.
Just one thing, big shout out to Chief Hedlund, Officer Gunderson, and Officer Grabansky. They came out and helped us do our, Altru did a Safe Kids Walk to School today, and those guys were there in the corner at the church to help them organize and send them down the sidewalk, and they thought it was great. So they picked up a couple of recruits today. I got a couple boys at lunch told me they want to be police officers.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Also want to thank Megan for setting up the appointments we had last Wednesday. I thought they went very well. Good response when we went down there, even though getting down there was a little bumpy, but it was good. They are looking forward to maybe next week, maybe going down. We'll see if who can go. But again, that was a good trip, and hopefully we have a good outcome on it, and we'll see. And that's it. Mr. Murphy.
Thank you. I have nothing. Everything I had has been covered.
Mr. Gulston.
Nothing unless you have questions for me.
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing.
Anything from the department heads? I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Demers, second by Grass. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.
If you were